Hello and welcome to episode 43 of the Screen Age podcast. I'm your host Connor,
And I'm Rodrigo.
and Rodrigo is has a shot on his camera which I'm not used to, which is the other wall of his room.
Which is
Yesterday
empty.
we spent which is empty for the moment, but yesterday we spent ages redecorating and rearranging his room.
Yeah.
We got more floor space, but we lacked convenience.
Yes.
And what I
convenience
absolutely
was shot.
hate, I can see that giant fuck off monolith of a wardrobe right beside him.
It
No matter
just
what he does, I
sneaks
see
in.
it.
It sneaks in.
Fucking worst. That's our news for the week. Goodbye now. We have some things in TV and movie and games because that's what we do here. And we shall talk with movies first. It's no, TV first because movies is a bit unusual.
Huge. Yeah, TV. What do you have? Anything interesting?
Do I start with like the shit that's going to annoy you or the shit that's going to impress you?
I
I'm
know you
not
first.
impressed, but
Annoy me first.
okay, annoy you first then.
I know probably
yeah.
better.
You might as well continue on with this one.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I won't. Well, the obvious thing I want to discuss is the live action thing of One Piece, but I've seen two headlines about it today, but both just have the phrase "inspired by the manga" in it, and
Yeah.
all I could think of is if you're
No
making
shit.
if you're making a live action version of an anime or a manga, if it isn't in some way inspired by the manga, what the fuck?
Yeah, like that's pretty fucking obvious.
Now, like, okay, you might be saying, "Oh, but sure, it's just a hint at something that's small to the manga or something like that." I was like, "Okay, cool. It's something that's small that you're hinting to the manga, but that shouldn't be a reason. That shouldn't be a headline. I shouldn't be seeing a headline of something that's oh, this is a cool little neat thing that's referring to to this." It's like, you shouldn't have to advertise. This thing should be getting publicity because they're doing something they should be doing anyway.
Yeah, and it's something stupid because it's the well, the one of the things I saw was the fucking I guess it's the logo, just the thing that says One Piece.
Yeah.
Is the logo? Yeah. And it's 3D'd.
Yeah.
Which is inspired by the manga, and I'm just like, why does this have to make a heading? Like, what? Like, it's
Yeah.
It could be something that is like, oh, cool, look, they like tributed to the manga or whatever, or some shit like that. But why does it have to make fucking like newsline? What?
Headlines?
Headlines. Like
What?
But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And then obviously that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the live action One Piece show. Is it a show or
Yeah,
movie?
we could.
show.
It's show. Yeah, don't worry. It's show. Or worry, it's show.
Like, do they not learn?
I mean, there's plenty of history to go through that they should learn by now.
There are very few, and like very few animes that go from animated to live action and work. Very few.
I can't think of any off the top
If
of my head at
any.
the moment, though I should. Because I know we've had a similar discussion like this in the past, and then you brought up Dragon Ball Z. But last time you said that you watched it, you were 7 and didn't know any better. And we
That is
read
true.
one of the best reviews
yeah.
on it. Can't remember what episode it was fucking hilarious.
But like, I don't understand why they keep insisting, and it's Netflix. It's just Netflix. They just insist on this. Like,
Are you okay?
like below, he could be. They just insist on it so much. I don't get it.
Like, if they learn from even any small show, they should learn from the fucking there's a live action Full Metal Alchemist movie that I think it just covers like the first I don't know how much of it covers, but it covers a lot of the episodes of the original one, not Brotherhood, so the original one, and it's just god awful. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's just like, it doesn't look right. Like, that being said, the armor, like, for anyone who's watched it, Al looks great. His armor looks fucking awesome, but everything else just looks stupid because they literally do almost like a 1-to-1 like remake shot for shot of the series. So all the movements that are done in animated form and in anime form are also done in live action, which looks so ridiculous and so weirdly CGI. So the only person the first person that comes to mind when I think of One Piece that makes me go, nope, this is gonna look really stupid, is just Luffy himself. Because his arms extend, don't they, and shit like that, and they get all rubbery. That's gonna look awful. That's gonna look awful.
Yeah, because like you could do animes on things like there's animes there. I saw one the other day. Well, I didn't watch it, but I saw it advertised. It was like a basketball one.
Oh,
and like, there's a ping pong one, and then there's a volleyball one, and shit like that. It's like those can work.
Yeah.
Like those could easily
well,
they could be done. Okay, yeah, obviously in the anime they're gonna be a little exaggerated, but you can exaggerate it in live action too. But when someone has powers like a stretchy guy, there has to be a big budget.
Yeah.
And for it to look really, really good. Like, because I mean Marvel and like even DC, the shows, because there's a guy in The Flash that is stretchy and he looks pretty good, but like those are really high budget shows. So like, oh god, I don't know. Yeah,
so like that's not great. And then we have another, are we done with One Piece? Are you nice and fired up about how much you're gonna hate it? I mean,
yeah, I won't watch it. I'll watch the normal One Piece.
Yeah, you're gonna rewatch all the old one, which is what, 1,071 episodes or some shit
like that. Yeah,
it just keeps going on up. But the other side of this stuff as well is Nickelodeon is releasing I think it's a few Last Airbender movies. This kind of came out of nowhere for me because I didn't know about this. But then I saw the phrase, it's going to be animated in CGI.
Yeah, I saw that and I was confused because I originally thought it was the Last Airbender show that's coming out, the live action one.
Is it not?
I thought they were referring to that, but if they're talking about movies, it must be different.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, it is. Sorry, yeah, no, I forgot. I actually blocked out the live action Last Airbender when you asked that question. Yeah, it is the original animated show. I believe, if I can find them here again, I'll click into it. But it's just a phrase, CGI. It's going to be animated in CGI, and I don't really get what that completely means. Oh, here it is. After The Last Airbender, the franchise has made a massive revival. Blah blah blah. Fans and critics have praised the series for a celebration of Asian culture. That no shit. It's been doing that since 2005. I don't know why you're bringing this up in 2021. Mainstream 2D. Oh yeah. However, in the following years after the initial run on Nickelodeon, mainstream 2D animated films have fallen by the wayside, with leading animation studios Disney and DreamWorks nearly exclusively releasing films using 3D animation. It seems now Avatar's next wave of films will follow suit. So we're going to get 3D animated fucking Avatar The Last Airbender.
Cannot wait.
Oh, I am so going to avoid this like the fucking plague.
Like, I don't understand why, when something works, because The Last Airbender show is fantastic. It works really well, and it's loved by pretty much anyone that watches it. So, like, why mess with that style? That style clearly
Yeah,
works. If the
that's
style
what I was gonna
works,
get at.
okay, maybe you're trying to change up. Maybe you're trying to change it up. Maybe you're trying to make it more modern. So you change it up for a movie. Doesn't work. Stop. Go back. If people are like, "What the fuck was this?" It's like SpongeBob. When SpongeBob did the whole weird looking animation style for the movie, people were like, "No, stop," and they went back. So just do that. Like, why is that? It looks so stupid.
Even in the, I just saw it there because there was like an ad. This is what I don't like about some of these like some of the sites that we use to find news. There's ads in the middle of them, so sometimes I don't read the last bit because it's only a small little thing, but it's the main part of this entire discussion, which is, it would be a shame for Avatar: The Last Airbender franchise to depart from its 2D animated roots. As the show creators have reiterated time and time again, Avatar is highly influenced by the kinetic animation style of Japanese anime. And this is the next one. To depart from 2D animation would be to compromise this aspect of the show entirely. Yes, it would completely. Like, you would,
Exactly
I wouldn't be able to watch that. Yeah, first off, is exactly what we just said. But second off, like, we wouldn't be able to sit down and be like, yeah, okay, this is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'd sit there, look at it, and go, this is one studio being really lazy and doing 3D animation.
Yeah, exactly. Like it almost feels like whenever an anime becomes mainstream, like the Airbender did, back in whenever it came out, because it came out on Nickelodeon, so like it was pretty mainstream. It almost feels like they try to go away from their roots of like the anime roots, and try to make it like a show like SpongeBob or like Adventure Time or something like that, instead of sticking to their anime Asian roots. They just try to change it into this Americanized show, which is when it's not.
Yeah, you said the right word. You said Americanized, or I put it as Western. That's like, it happens more primarily with Western animated shows or Western animes, that they will go away from the roots of what the show. I do think you're right with that. Just in general, most animated Western animated shows. I can even say Ruby from like Rooster. I know it was a web online show, but it's still recognized as a Western anime. At the beginning, that was one show, and as it went on, it lost its way and became something just not as good. And then with this, it's doing the same thing. Now, like, okay, like, oh wait, that's what it's going to be like. I just realized, if it's going to be 3D animated in the way that I think it's going to be, then it's just going to look like Ruby. I feel the later seasons at least, which is it's not okay because it's not the original thing. And the other thing, a lot of people in the anime community will always maintain that 2D is the way to go no matter what you do, and people will not like 3D. So in Attack on Titan season 4, it's the first time where I think, because it used to be with WIT, which is funny because we have WIT here, animated them first, but it took them so long to do it because everything was in 2D, and their workforce was much smaller than most other places, and they were doing 2 or 3 other ones. One happened to be one of my favorite shows, so they had to keep that one on. So when they went to MAPPA, which are huge, they do a shit ton. They implemented some 3D elements too, because it's easier to do a 3D element sprite than having to edit all of the like movements and such like that for a 2D thing. People gave out about it, but it still worked that it's 3D. So I wanted to say that, because our main thing isn't the fact that they're using 3D at all. 3D does have its place, and I think it's a bit too much hate. But it's the fact that it is but with MAPPA they kept with the same style, and that's what people liked about it then, because it was the same style, just 3D. But this is going to go completely away from it. I know it is, and it's going to have this Western 3D animated feel. It's not going to be a merger of 2D and 3D like a lot of modern ones. It's just going to be shite.
Yeah. Like, like we said, the 3D animation has its place.
Does.
But if you create a new show, whatever it is, and you make it 3D animated from the get-go, that's fine.
Yeah.
It can work. But when something is successful in one aspect of, which is 2D, and then you go and completely change it to 3D, and then not just go from 2D to 3D, you're going from 2D to 3D and then changing the animation style of 3D anyways, then it just loses, it's no longer the same show, and it loses that, and it's quite shocking that people get paid so much money and don't realize this. It's not like it's the first time it's been done. It's been done a billion times before, and works one set of every 20 times it's done, if even. So like, why even chance your arm? Like, why?
Yeah, like, I don't know why people keep okay, because I can't really think of many things outside of the music industry where people have changed genres of style and it has worked. There's not, even in the music industry, there's not a whole lot I've done it, but but when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But like, the fact that this has happened so many times at the moment, the fact that this has happened, as you say, so many times people have tried to be like, yeah, let's change the style of the show entirely. You're gonna lose the majority of old fans who are not that, like, who are loyal, but have a limit. Like, if you have diehard fans that would be there for everything, no matter what word it is. But diehard fans won't want to admit it. They also have a limit, because I used to be a diehard fan of Ruby back in the day. I know I brought it up again. And the first season was awesome, and the second season was brilliant. The third season was fucking amazing. But that, like, the third season when I started changing its style type of thing, like its feel.
Yeah.
And then with the fourth one, I was like, yeah, it's good. And then the fifth one came, I was like, I can't watch it. I watched all of it, but I can't remember a single thing that happened in it. And now we're on volume fucking 9, I think, and I haven't watched it since. And I still have merch of it in here, and I'm just like, I can't watch that show anymore. So like, everyone has a limit. So why people keep pushing fans? I know you want to find new people, but if you have a dedicated set of numbers that are always going to bring in revenue for you, why would you do something to lose that?
Yeah, and that's it. It almost feels like they're not satisfied with what they have, and they try to go for that extra couple thousand people to watch it, and then instead of getting a couple extra thousand, they lose a couple fucking million. It's I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why not stick with what works? And stick to the manga in anime.
Yeah.
Stick to it. Like, the reason a show does really, really well is when it sticks to the manga, because usually the manga is like, it's set in stone. You know what volumes people like, what volumes people didn't like, so you know what would work. So stick to the fucking manga. Also, you're basing it all off on the manga, so just go off the manga. Like, I'm currently watching My Hero, and like people complain about like season 5, well, the end of season 4 to season 5, because they're kind of going away a little bit from the manga. Well, they started going a little bit away from the manga because there's one storyline that they're kind of afraid to touch because it's like really dark. But now at the end of season 4, they realize that they kind of fucked up, so they're putting in that storyline now, and it's just like, just see, it works. And so how dark can it be? Like, you know, and who cares? Who cares if it's dark? The show isn't a fucking PG-12. You know, I'm pretty sure it's like 15. So like, go for it. Fucking go for it. Like, so stop being a little wimp.
Yeah, it's when people start to second guess themselves and go, should we do this, should we do that, and then like, or like, it doesn't even have to. We can even relate this not even to just anime, it's quite fucking obvious, the one I'm about to say. If you go off book, that might prompt your memory. What, like, don't push a season fucking 8. Like, don't do that. I don't think I need to give you any more hints. With Game of Thrones, they went off book and it went to fucking shit, but that was because he wouldn't write it fast enough. With Attack on Titan season 4, I'm not really 100% sure what's happening. Not in the show. I mean, how they're doing it, because one of my friends who watches it, she did the maths on it, or not the maths, but I think she looked into it a bit more, and it seems like the last episode of the series comes out the day the last manga comes out, and they're taking a break at the moment, and they're coming back. Oh, I can't remember when.
These are starting next year or something like that.
Yeah, no, it isn't, because my friend will still be over in Canada at that point. She comes back after Christmas, so it's sometime soon enough. But so I think they're still following it all, but they're giving it time to catch up or something like that, so that they can continue on with the manga and then have that little meeting point.
Yeah,
you couldn't really do that with Game of Thrones, but you see what happens when you go too far off script, which is ironic. Actually, it's ironic for for later on in movies, and you'll know what I'm talking. You'll know when I say it, but like, stick if it's already set in motion. If something has already been made, we made a little reference to this last week when it comes to representation of like ethnic groups and stuff like that. If something is set in stone in the past and something is written in a certain way, just keep it that way when you do a remake, and then leave it a little while, do a few other reiterations, but keeping the same formula, and then try to change it up like Batman does, because Batman works now because there's been so many iterations of things.
Yeah, Batman has been done with so many different origin stories, backstories, future stories, middle stories, like that you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. But yeah, I agree with you there. Just stick to what's there. Like, this isn't an original idea that you have to create yourself, and you can advance through the story whatever way you want. This is, you're basing your show, movie, whatever, on something. So stick to that something. That's your source material. Like Game of Thrones, up to season 5, that's how many books was out, was perfection, and then 6, 7, and 8 just go downhill because there's nothing to base it off. Is it their fault for continuing? Probably not.
No, it was so famous at that point.
Stop.
You needed to.
They couldn't have really just stopped and wait for your man to write the books. He needs to cop on and write the books. He's just dicking around at this stage.
Leave him alone. He's writing Elden Ring, so.
But he made a big balls of it, and they made a big balls of it. But just stick to what you have. Stick to what you have.
Now, from one thing okay, fuck it, I messed that one up. From one thing that seems to be kind of going not away from its original, from things that's going away from its original style to something that's kind of new but has the original style. I want to talk about Moonknight for a few minutes, because I know we keep bringing it up every now and again because this is one of our most anticipated fucking shows. Yes. But Ethan Hawke loves to talk about it, and that is a great fucking sign. If an actor who's in this show likes to talk about the show that he's in, he's enjoying what's going on there, but he keeps talking about how good Oscar Isaac's in it.
You love Oscar Isaac.
I love Oscar Isaac, but because even though I love him, it doesn't mean that he can be great all the time. So the fact that another actor is coming out and saying this guy's phenomenal, that's his exact word is that he's phenomenal as Moon Knight, and I'm like. If this is being, I know it might just be someone like talking to a friend or something like that. That's grand, but even if to make a public post about this is going to be great, and he even said that Ethan Hawke said that he's happy that he's in Moon Knight and not Spider-Man. And first off, Spider-Man's a movie, Moon Knight's a TV series. There's a lot of difference in pros and cons to both, but I'm just going to look at just the superhero itself. I will take the bit of a controversial stance and say I definitely agree with them. If it was do you want to be in Spider-Man, this huge show that's definitely going to do well, or you do want to do Moonknight that hasn't been done yet, so you can have your name on this. So it's like, I'd probably go with Moonknight because Spider-Man's so big. First off, if you fuck that up, you will forever be known as someone who was fucked up Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But if you do Moonknight, it's their first attempt at it, so you can't really be hit. But it's something new and fresh, and I love that. I'd love to see to support more like lesser known things being done and more original ideas coming out. So fuck yeah. The fact that he's proud to be in this, there's so many things that keep coming down. Like, yes, give me Moonknight.
Yeah, because like you said there, like Spider-Man or any superhero that has been done at that, like, you will be compared all the time. Just like, look at the Spider-Man at the moment. Like, we had Andrew Garfield. We had Tobey Maguire at the start.
Yep.
And like, he set the bar pretty high. And then a couple of years later, we got Andrew Garfield, and he got criticized severely for his Spider-Man. Hey, look, his Spider-Man is not bad. Like, his movies are not as bad as people say they are. But
no,
it was because he was criticized heavily because he wasn't Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And now Tom wasn't necessarily criticized because he was kind of loved from the get-go, but he is compared all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just him. Like, I see a lot of comparisons now between Mary Jane and MJ. You know, like, there's comparisons there, and like with Gwen Stacy, and it's just so many comparisons. Batman, everyone gets compared to fucking Christian Bale's Batman, or Ben Affleck's, or Michael Keaton's. There's or even the Jokers, they all get compared. So
they're always.
To go off and like pick an original idea like Moonknight, never been done, never been seen. I don't even think has Moonknight ever been in even like an animated thing. I don't think he has.
I don't think he might have made some form of like small
appearance, but other than that,
appearances.
I wouldn't say
if
so.
Let's type in appearances. Maybe he was in something.
So he's going to set that standard for Moonknight.
Yeah.
Like, or there might not even need to be a standard. He might be the one and only person to play Moonknight. It's like Wolverine with Hugh Jackman. No one had done Wolverine before. He shows up. He does it to perfection, to the point that no one will ever touch that character again, or not for a long time anyway.
Yeah.
So he has the opportunity now to just be Moonknight and just fucking go off, son.
I think he made an appearance in the Batman animated show. I see an animated thing of him like swinging around something, so I assume he was in one thing, but that's literally it. I think my use for a fucking episode. Yeah,
so like it is really just like nowhere to be seen or nowhere to be even known. Like, so yeah, he has so much potential.
And still, what a man to give him like his first. Oh, sorry, shit. Moonknight is fucking Marvel. He might have been in one of the Avenger things or Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. He was in a Spider-Man one, but that was it.
And probably a long time ago.
It was a long. It was in one of the animated shows, and it was a long while. Fuck! I closed all my tabs. Yeah. So like the fact that Oscar Isaac has given the first attempt at this, ooey.
Yeah, that is correct. And look, like, if the show works out, he can get a second season, blah blah blah, and eventually maybe make his way into the MCU. Will we like to see that? Probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. Because he's gonna be a gritty character. He's gonna be kind of a little darker, a little more rough around the edges, so like him joining the MCU probably won't suit him. It's like Deadpool joining the MCU, it wouldn't go. So but he can have his standalone career, which would be awesome.
Yeah,
but we have to move on.
We do.
So
into movies.
Yep.
Speaking of Oscar Isaac, DUNE is starting to get his some reviews in. And
pretty good by the sounds of it.
I see a lot of like, this is one of the best movies to come out in a while. It's one of the best adaptations. Let's go look up see if there's any more Dune movies. See, there's some reviews coming out already. So, like, it's already gotten 5 out of 5. IndieWire, which is I've never heard of, apparently gave it 2.5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, go on, buy it.
Now I've seen a few like it's weird because, as I say, it's getting really good reviews.
Yeah.
It's also getting really bad reviews.
I feel like it is one of those type of films. I feel like it is going to be one of those type of films that it's going to have its own cult following. It's going to have some people that go watch and go, yeah, not for me, and other people who watch it go, that is one of the greatest films that has ever been made. It does give me that sort of vibe that it is going to have that split, like really defined split in popularity.
Yeah, because like you have Empire, which generally review movies but have been criticised for being a little bit like, oh, they just want to make reviews good for movies to advertise and stuff like that. They give it a 5 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes give it an 85%. That's pretty good nowadays if people just like, because trolls will just drop the movie anyway.
Oh yeah.
So 85% is pretty high, and it even says in their headline that it's the breathtaking adaptation that fans were waiting for. So that's pretty good. Yeah, IndieWire again, which is calling the epic space opera a massive disappointment. The Guardian. Oh, it gives the cinema at its dizzying and dazzling best. So that's giving great reviews.
Yeah.
So like, Vanity Fair, which I didn't even know reviewed movies, says it gets lost in space, which is that's a bit of a shit thing to say. But like, I guess we really have to wait until it comes out for what we get to say. But like it's what's funny is, again, it's literally, it's no in between. It's breathtaking adaptation they've waited for, cinema at its best, 5 out of 5 reviews, to it's a massive disappointment and it's bad. So like there is no in between.
Yeah, which is kind of hard to judge sometimes too, because like we did read reviews for like Suicide Squad 2 or the Suicide Squad movie, and they were all flawless. They were all just, this movie is perfection, and we went to watch it and we believed that it was perfection. We believed it was fantastic. So like with this one, when it's so mixed, like we could easily, you and I could go see it in the cinema, you come out going, that was fucking brilliant, and I'll go, not for me. You know, that's what these fucking reviews are telling me, like, that it really is just a flip of a coin what type of person you are, like. But I don't know, but like Oscar Isaac looks in it. That beard, oh my days.
Oh, I know. We've swooned over the man plenty, but I will continue to fucking do so.
But like who else is in it? That fella.
Timothée Chalamet, Zendi, fucking Josh Brolin. If you want to name any famous actor that's currently on the scene at the moment, my answer would most likely be yes.
Like, that's such a big cast. Like, that's a massive cast. So I'm guessing maybe that's where it's being criticized severely on. Maybe it had this level of expectation of of like, it has all these A-list fucking actors on it that
I went to the wrong fucking Dune.
that then it goes to like, oh, it had all this but it didn't live up to it. Like, it has, like you said, Timothy however you pronounce his second name. We got Zendaya, we got Jason Momoa, we got Oscar Isaac, we got Dave Bautista. Like, we got so many people in this. I have the list here, so I'm just going to read them out because I love looking at all these names. Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, which everyone does know. He was in the, what's his name? He was in the Avengers. Jason Momoa, Zendaya, Charlotte Rampling, I do recognise, but I don't know where she's from. Dave Bautista, Javier Bardem,
The guy who plays Polka Dot Man, I'm not saying his name because I can't pronounce his second name. It's
David something.
Dasmalchian.
Malshin, yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's so fucking many massive casts in this. So like, it's 2 hours 35 minutes. Cool.
Yeah, that's a heft. But like, that's a massive cast. So that could be where the like quote unquote hate is coming from. That it's like it had this massive cast and it mightn't have lived up to the expectations people thought it would be, which is stupid.
Yeah. Have we ever discussed? This is kind of half on topic, half not. Have you ever discussed Zendaya and Tom Holland?
No. Do you want to get into it?
Oh yeah, fuck up, like, because we talked about Dude, but we don't have that many things on movies. So like, why the fuck not? Like, we've never actually discussed this.
Yeah. So like when they started Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, what's it called? Spider-Man Homecoming. Is it Homecoming?
Far From Home.
Yeah. No, that's the second one.
No. Yes. Homecoming. Homecoming is Spider-Man then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you go to Homecoming party. Yeah.
So Spider-Man Homecoming, like their whole chemistry was like it just exploded, and like everyone was like, oh my god, yes, but they were like, no.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, no, not really, and then Far From Home came out, and it was like, yeah, look at this. This is great. Like, they're going out now in the movie. Like, they must be going out. Like, they must.
Yeah.
And then it was, like, less of a harsh no. It was more of a, no. And then they recorded the third one. And now people have taken pictures of them in a car making out. They went to a wedding together. Like they I think it was Zendaya or it might have been Tom, I can't remember. Well, anyway, one of the two posted a happy birthday for the other one with like
both did, I think.
It was a picture of Tom in his Spider-Man suit taking a selfie in a mirror and she's hugging him from behind. So like people are losing their minds, but they have not yet. They're yet to confirm or deny anything.
And I think that's why, because I know in the past I've said, who wants to know about like relationships shit like that? This is one of the ones that I think it's almost like a real life fucking show.
Yeah.
It's more than just that, because you're like, see, the thing that I am worried about is because everyone's going like, are you? And we're like, no. And they're like, are you? It's like, everyone wants us to. And it's like, are you? It's like, sure, because you want. So I'm like, I hope it's not that.
But see, I don't think it will be that, because just for the simple fact that it's
that they're human.
But they got over the first movie, the whole like you need to be together type of thing, and didn't fall into that. So I feel like now they've developed a long-standing friendship. So now that like that's there, it's more like we want this more than they want this. You know? Because even look at like Tobey Maguire and Gyllenhaal, what's her name? Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like from the first movie they started going out. Is it Maggie Gyllenhaal?
No.
Who is it then?
It's Kirsten, who plays Mary Jane?
Yeah, what's her name?
It's Kirsten Dunst.
She looks like Maggie Gyllenhaal though.
No, she does not.
Wait, Maggie.
For people who want to look this up themselves, because Maggie Gyllenhaal is quite difficult to spell, she's Rachel Dawes from the Dark Knight series, and Kirsten Dunst is Mary Jane. One is a redhead, one is not. One does not look like the other.
Yeah, they do. I'm going to send you this picture and you're going to tell me they don't.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen.
But anyway, whatever. They started going out, and then we had the whole... and that didn't work out. They broke up and all that. Because it was like... they fell in love on set. I feel like this happens a lot. I feel like obviously this happens a lot in Hollywood. People go out with the person their love interest in the film because they fall in love with that character. They don't fall in love with the person.
Yeah.
And then we had obviously Andrew Garfield going out with, what's her name?
Stone. Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Going out with Emma Stone, and that didn't work out. So like, I feel like,
oh, it's a curse.
What?
It's like a Spider-Man curse. The Spider-Man goes out with love interest.
Well, but I feel like this is different because they've waited a long time and they've been friends for a long time. So, but yeah, just let us know if this is gonna happen or not.
Yeah,
it's been going for long enough.
Yeah, 'cause again, there's plenty of relationships out there that we could not give a shit about.
Yeah. But
this is like one of the few where I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this could, all against it. So, yeah, just let us know. There's two, or unless they've been going out for a long time now, and just have been able to keep it under wraps for so long.
Seeing some of the pictures that I've seen, people will find out pretty fucking fast. I hate paparazzi. I really do.
Oh, I hate them so much. Like, what's your whole shtick of like, just, I
hate how there's an entire. That looks like a character. Berserk. Holy fuck. Like how you've gotten an entire career out of pretty much being like a jackal in the fucking wilderness.
Yeah.
Is like just scavenging off other things.
Yeah, but like that's not the craziest thing. Like, okay, like they're trying to make a living. The craziest thing is that they're allowed to like pretty much fucking tail you and like follow you and like basically like spy on you. And this is legal. Like, how is this legal? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, how is this allowed to happen?
Yeah, there's plenty of times where I'm like, what, like, how can you not tell someone, how can you tell someone to get away from them and get off their property and you go, no, I have to be here to make a living. Like, you can fuck off.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like, I think they have too much, I think paparazzi have too much freedom because I know it's, okay, look, it's one of the main things you'll see in like interviews from anyone really, not even just TV or movies, like literally, even from, especially music. Music is a huge one as well.
Yeah.
But the main thing people talk about is just how shit paparazzi can get.
Oh yeah.
But like, I think they just have way too much freedom. I think paparazzi have way too much freedom,
and they get away with everything, which is the issue.
Yeah, and I don't understand how they don't get caught up upon it like more, because again, they literally spy on people, and the amount of times that actors, voice actors, which are the same thing really, music artists or anyone really who's in any way, shape or form famous, like now some people love the fucking attention and by all means they can have it, but if some people are like, you gotta get out of the way or you gotta leave me alone, something like, I don't want this, like then people will take pictures of that and post that on things going, oh, this could just want all this stuff. It's like, yeah, you even tell people he doesn't want people like paparazzi there. Why the fuck you keep going for?
Yeah, like I feel like all these famous people want attention. They do, because that's their whole, like, that's how they make money.
Certainly do, yeah.
That's how they make money, because attention and blah, blah, blah. But once it's on, like, at a movie premiere or on set or this, that, whatever. But when it's just them fucking driving to the shop to buy milk like every other human being in the world, and they're being fucking bombarded with flash, just fucking, it's like they're throwing flash grenades at them, like they're just fucking and it's like, hey, I just came to buy milk. Like, I seen an interview with Elizabeth Olsen, and she moved house, and she was driving home or something. I don't know from where she was coming from, but she was driving home and she saw someone was tailing her, and she pulled over and like went over to them and was like, stop following me and all this, and like she didn't like she stayed in her car for ages to make sure no one was following her to find her new house. Like that's something you have to worry about. You have to worry about that. You have to worry about people not knowing where your house is, so you have some sort of privacy. Like, your house is meant to be your place to just be you, hide, have your own privacy. But like, some people don't have that. Like, how they get away with this shit is unbelievable. Like, I've seen the amount of people, like the amount of celebrities that have their massive fucking beach houses in somewhere, and I mean, at the back of the house they have a pool. They can, and they're in their house, so they come out of the house topless because they want to just fucking do them. And then there's these guys in bushes just taking pictures of them and then posting them, and it's like, hey, what the fuck? Like, how does this not, like, how are they not, like, that's my whole thing. How did they not get reprimanded? How did they not go to jail for trespassing, for like invasion of privacy and all this? Like, it's actually scary.
So that photo only came through now. Yet they don't.
Okay, if you make her look younger, she's a lot older than her, but they do have similar features.
If you make her look like her, she'll look like her.
But like even when they're driving, like that's something I never understood. How is it legal for someone that's driving and people flashing them? Like, how they don't run over people more often or hit things when they're driving?
I assume we were talking about the Tobey Maguire incident where, like, they just flooded the fucking, like,
out of the way
to the drive. And like, just get out. Like, he's like people were like, oh, he's like shouting at them, like, oh, he's really angry. It's like, no, he's in a fucking car and he's trying to drive, and you're flashing lights in his eyes and standing in front of it. If he gets dazed and puts his foot on the wrong fucking pedal and goes into him, in my mind, that's your fault, not him.
Yeah, and the thing is, it won't be like that. Fucking Tobey Maguire, it would be sued to the ground, and he'd lose fucking every penny to that dickhead of a paparazzi. So it's so annoying how they get away with it. Like, there should be rules. There should be more rules and regulations of paparazzi. There has to be. There has to be some sort of rule that at maybe a certain time, between two certain times, like a 9-to-5 job, you can't take, like, from 9 to 5 you can take pictures. Beyond that, you can't, or there's jail time, or there has to be jail time, because these lads get paid so much money that a fine won't matter. Because they just sell that picture on to a news agency that'll pay hefty money for it, and they won't care.
Like, the thing is, I had a point that I wanted to fucking mention there that I can't really remember what the fuck it was, because I'm kind of like that every now and again. But yeah, like, paparazzi should just be able to be reprimanded a bit more. Like, I'd love for this to get up to the point where people can recognize us, but that's it. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Yeah.
If you can recognize us, you come up, great, that's grand. I say that like we're fucking big, not getting 5 people listening to us every now and again. But like, if we ever get big enough and shit like that, get us to Game Grumps level. I'm happy with that. I don't want anything more.
Yeah.
But with like paparazzi and shit like that, it's the biggest push away from wanting to be huge. Cause I'm like, fuck no, I don't want that.
Yeah, and it's and the issue is also that people want to see this. Like, like the normal person, I don't get it. Like people fucking live for these pictures. Like, some people would be so obsessed with Tom Holland, because we were talking about him. Let's just talk about Tom Holland. That they take a picture of him fucking walking out of a Target, and like, it's the blurriest, shittiest picture of him just walking with, like, I don't know, a fucking Red Bull in his hand, and it's like, oh my god, look at this, and everyone that is like a Tom Holland fanatic is like, oh my god, he goes to Target just like me, and it's like,
oh yeah,
It's like,
I fucking hate it.
but then that's the issue. Those people give the paparazzi reason to take those pictures. Like, if people just stop caring about these stupid fucking pictures, they don't have a job. They don't have a job.
Like, so, I completely forgot about a movie we talked about. Yeah, I wish that shit would just stop, because we've talked about it. I know we said, oh, who wants to know about relationships shit, like we kind of like Tom and Zendaya, because again, I guess they're like our age stuff, but we're not fanatics about it. If
Yeah,
nothing
no.
happens, we'll be like, and we'll leave it on. That's grand. And if they do, we'll be like, hey, and we'll leave it on. It's grand. We're not going to be fucking keeping an eye on them the entire time. We're going to be like, what's going to happen here? Oh, okay, that's grand. That's it.
Yeah.
We're not fucking super fans. But I think we should probably move on. We've ranted about the paparazzi this time around.
Yeah, that's a new one. Did you say you have a film to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I forgot about it until right now. You know the Expendables series?
Mm-hmm.
The first one, which is fucking amazing.
Ooh,
The second
yeah.
one, which is fucking amazing because it's just a bunch of 80s quips and just hilarious. The third one, which is okay.
Yeah.
Like it, yeah. They have the fourth one coming out. Yeah.
Okay, but now, so let's look at this. Good track record, right?
Yeah.
1, good. 2,
Understand.
fantastic. 3, not terrible.
Yeah.
Right? So, fourth one in theory should be decent. Shouldn't be terrible.
Yeah.
Should be decent. But all these guys are about 80 years old now.
Yeah. Like when 3 was happening, they were like, wow, they're really getting on in age. And 3 was, let me just, oh yes, do a little bit of a type of Rooney. And if I type, nope, 3, 2000, and wow, give me the fucking
14.
year, 2014, 7 years, which will be 8 by the time that comes out.
Yeah.
But 7 years is a long time for people to age and whine.
Especially at that age.
Especially there.
Because 8 years from someone that's 20 to 28, you won't notice it. But like 8 years when you're 70 to 78, oh boy, you're gonna fucking notice it. Like Sylvester Stallone, how old is he now? Fucking.
I think he's about to hit his 80s.
He's
isn't
about
he?
to hit 80s, isn't he? He is. I have it here. If you'd like to scroll.
When did Expendables
75.
4 come out?
He's 75. We got Jason Statham, which is probably up there too. Not that up there, but up there nonetheless.
And I'm getting IMDb.
54.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
He's 63. He looks older than 63, but 63 nonetheless.
No, he looks pretty good, I think, for 63, in
You
fairness.
think so?
Yeah.
And we have many more. It's just they're too old. Like they're just too old. They're just too old. Hey, look, you can make films. Look at Robert De Niro. Look at Al Pacino. They're still making films, even though they're up there in age. But you gotta be able to change. Like Rambo 4 or whatever Rambo we're on now.
There's another one.
No,
it's
whatever.
like 6.
Is it?
Yeah.
Whatever Rambo we're on, I don't even fucking know. But when he announced he was doing another Rambo, it was like, dude, stop. Like you're just like it's just not good anymore. It's just I don't know. They're too old, and they're still trying to be young fellas. Like they're still trying to be what they used to be.
Yeah,
and
that's reliving the old days.
They can't be that action heroes. They can't be those action superheroes anymore. They can't. And the difference between like the type of Jason Statham or Tom Cruise that are 50 odd, nearly 60, and are able to do these and don't look ridiculous is because they were never like, look at Sylvester Stallone or Dolph or fucking Arnold. They used to be massive, like physically massive, muscular wise. So like that physique is impossible to keep when you get to your older years. So they're trying to keep that physique, which they can't, and are trying to live their young days, which they can't anymore. But like this, the type of Jason Statham, he's always been lean. Yes, he's a unit, but he's a lean person. Or Tom Cruise, he's a unit, but he's lean. That physique is a lot easier to maintain than a bodybuilder's physique.
Yeah.
So that's
you
why.
Look at Terry Crews.
Yeah, like Terry Crews.
Like he's not as old, but he's still like it's still difficult for him to maintain that. He's still a fucking beef hunk now.
He's 53. But like, give him 7 years, and that physique won't be there anymore. His body, not that he will stop taking care of himself and all this. No, I believe that he will continue to take care of himself, because he's just a health guru and all this and whatever. But his body can only do so much. His body can only take so much intensity, exercise. In a couple of years, give The Rock 15 years, he's not going to be that hunk that he is right now. His body just won't be able to.
Yeah.
So they're gonna look back and be like, I want to be this unit of a man, and continue to do their stupid films like fucking Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is the perfect example. He did the other Rambo film. I don't think it's out yet. He did that Rambo film. No. Now he's doing Expendables 4. He's trying to relive his Rocky days because he's doing Rocky 4 director's cut, and it's like and obviously he came out with Creed and all this, and it's like lad, move on.
But like, if you looking at Schwarzenegger in the past, my God in heaven,
it was scary. Like, it was unnatural.
Now, if you just look at the difference if he is now and back in Conan the Barbarian, like, the man is an absolute literal god. But now, like, it's the perfect example of what happens to your body as you age. But we need to move on anyway. But before we go on to games, it'd be unfair if we didn't mention Shang Chi. It is out, right?
It's just out. Yeah.
It has come out, and it's set to like, it's another movie set to hit another fucking record. Like, I don't know how movies keep breaking records nowadays, but they're doing it. Yeah.
But apparently it's gotten great reception. Apparently it's really good. I think I'm gonna watch it next week. I'm not sure. I don't know. But it's been released. Apparently it's great. That's all we can say, because that's all we know.
It's all we can say. It's all we know. We can say it's good that we have a film that's representing so much things after our last podcast that we discussed about.
100%. And from the reviews and things I've heard from it, it really does stick to that representation. Yep. There's been nothing that is like all this, that, and the other. Like, I heard some people complain that Doctor Strange wasn't in it, and I'm like, no, I don't know. That's not what it is. Like, this is a Shang Chi film, not a Doctor Strange film. So yeah, I'm happy they kept that representation and didn't change it. So good for them. Games?
On the games? Okay. I completely forgot Overwatch 2 is a thing, and apparently a build is coming out at some point at OWL 2022? What the fuck is OWL 2022? Overwatch World League.
What's it called? Activision Blizzard? Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
That's gone a lot of slack in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, fuck yeah.
For something that happened. We won't get into it. It's a little touchy. But
it's got sexism.
Yeah, but like bad. To the point that they're it's
sexism, but bad.
No, but like but like
worse.
Like worse. Yeah, like it gets worse.
It's more accented upon.
Yeah. And like to the point that they're changing a character's name, because of this. And like, I've heard rumors that, because of this thing that happened Overwatch 2 is not going to come out, and what they're going to do is just release a big update to Overwatch, and that's it.
The game that is now
Dead.
a just decaying corpse.
Dead. It's dead. And it's been dead.
And not freshly dead either.
No, it's been dead for a long time now. Yeah, but I don't care about Overwatch or even Overwatch 2. I just don't give a fuck.
We stopped caring, like, because we gave it a really good run. We stopped caring in, like, in 2018 type of thing. It wasn't that
Yeah.
we like stopped caring.
Recently,
Like
yeah.
we stopped. Yeah.
Well, I don't care anymore.
No.
But I have 2 PS5 things I want to touch on.
Okay. This is great. More slack.
The first one is probably the biggest one, and I'll ask you this: what was the main issue with the PS4?
Fan sound, wasn't it?
Fan sounds and
shit.
overheating, right? Those were the 2 big things. And PS5 came out, and it seemed like it had fixed it. It still had some issues, a little bit of overheating, but it wasn't terrible. It was
the
grand.
fans, from what I remember. There's
Yeah,
different
it
quality
was
of
fan,
fans.
and I think it's because of the build. The build, there's not enough places for airflow to go. But it was fine. And then Sony came out and were like, we are making a loss on consoles, which everyone makes loss on consoles. I don't think anyone has properly ever made a profit on a console.
Properly, yeah.
So they said, we're going to make it lighter so we can make a profit. Okay, if you can make it lighter without affecting anything, go ahead. But a YouTuber, don't know his name, can't give him credit, whatever. But
I have him here. Austin Evans.
Austin Evans bought one of these new PS5s and had an original one and took them apart to compare. He wanted to see what they took out to make it lighter, and they took out a fucking heatsink. They took out a heatsink, and it's like, and the which, for people that don't understand what that means, it will make them more prone to heating up because they don't have something to cool them down.
I have it here actually. So over the weekend, where he took both the consoles apart and found that a smaller heatsink would reduce amount, like it's 300 grams lighter. So if you actually wanted to reduce it, like if all that's coming from the heatsink, that's a shit ton of copper.
Yeah.
So like pretty much what a heatsink does is sits on the hot thing that gets hot, and the heat goes into the copper material because that's good at conducting heat, and it dissipates it out that way. So if you take off a shit ton of copper, it's not going to have enough material to absorb all heat.
Yeah.
He also has another statistic here, which was the original. He has this new one, this digital edition, and the new one. And he like compared the temperatures, and it runs 5 degrees Celsius hotter. Now, that's either that's either not that bad of a thing or a really bad thing. Because the PlayStation community exploded saying, "Oh, it's running really, really hot," and all that stuff. So I was like, "Okay, it could be. 5 degrees can shut
Make a big
down a
difference.
system.
Yeah.
5 degrees has corrupted like a system. Even mine, when I had a shittier case of mine, 5 degrees has crashed my entire system and corrupted data files and stuff like that. So, it running 5 degrees hotter could, if you're playing games that are high intensity, especially with a piece of gear that is known and infamous for overheating, it's not the best thing to say, oh, this thing's running 5 degrees fucking hotter than the one that used to overheat always. So, like, yeah, I don't think, at the moment, this is only 5 degrees. I want to wait until I see what its actual performance is like. Because he even does say that the heat discrepancy is made the console worse. There it is, like 5 degrees can definitely affect
Oh, it definitely can.
Definitely affect its performance. So the fact that I think why I'm more so annoyed with this is because PS5 know they're infamous for overheating and their fans and shit like that. Their first offense was like how some PS5s have different fans than other ones. And you're like, what the fuck? Our main issue was your fans, and now you've gone and done this shit. What the hell? And then the next thing is people complaining about how they overheated. And then they've taken away more things that would help it from stop overheating.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't necessarily think it's the fact that it's reducing its quality. It's the fact that they're making everything that people complain about worse.
Yeah, yeah, and
What the fuck?
it's stupid. And like this has caused scalpers, scum of the earth, to hike up prices for day one PS5s. Like if you go on eBay or wherever they're selling them, you can fucking find a PS5 one, and it literally will say PS5 day release console will not overheat, and they're going for 1,000, 2,000, and it's like scalpers are the worst. But then also PS5 needs to cop on and stop taking things that like are important off, like, you know, and it just feels really cheap. Like the whole taking off this thing to make it lighter so we can make money is cheap. The whole, oh, you have to put in your own SSD but we won't tell you what SSD will work properly is cheap. Like it's just so annoying. And like this YouTuber, and like we've talked about the PS5, the PS community, they're blaming this, instead of blaming Sony and being like, Sony, cop the fuck on, they're literally blaming this YouTuber for the scalpers raising up their prices. They're saying that Microsoft paid him off to say this. They're saying that they're saying that he's lying and that he's the issue, and it's like, no. Like, you know, it's not. Like, he's just showing you what like is wrong, and like you if you're just not willing to accept this for what it is, then that's, I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah. If you're that stuck, what was interesting is when I saw something on PS5 during the week, and I went to the comments saying, "Oh, what would you rather, Xbox or PS5?" I was surprised to see, first off, how civil it was, and second off, just how many people were saying Xbox now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's because, like, first off, the Xbox is more powerful, has more fucking storage and all that type of stuff. We went through all this in the past, but like, that's great and all, but people still love before the PS5, and it was great. But now seeing people turn around and be like, no, I think Xbox might be the way. I don't think it's because of its ability to outperform PS5. I think it's just because Sony are just being dickheads recently.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, 1,000%. But like, the whole blaming the YouTuber for being paid off when he clearly was not paid off by Microsoft, because not once does he mention Xbox at all, is stupid to me. But hey, that's just PS people, and sure, their event is coming up soon, and they're just gonna forget about all this. They're just gonna be like, oh my god, God of War, Spider-Man, hey, and then that's it. They'll just forget about the bullshit they're pulling on, the quick one they're pulling over their eyes, you know. But hey, I don't care. I play Xbox, so
yeah. Xbox is PC over here as well, so fuck them.
The other one, which is funny.
Oh,
this one's funny.
Oh,
I looked up Starfield on Google.
Oh yes.
I looked up Starfield.
How did I
Google.
forget this?
I looked up Starfield on Google, and this is fucking hilarious. If you, I'm sure if you type it in right now, if you type in Starfield on Google, it literally comes up, suggested based on your recent activity. Will Starfield be on PS5? That's the suggested. So like, Starfield have come out, or Bethesda, not Starfield, Bethesda has come out and said it's not coming to PS5.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It's not.
And
fucking brilliant.
It has caused a massive ruckus in the PS community.
because they need all of their games, and if other people have exclusives, how could they be better? Fuck them. Honest to all things
Fuck 'em.
sacred, fuck them.
Yeah, like when the whole
shut the fuck up.
When the whole I can't remember what game it was, but I do remember there was a game that was like meant to come
Holy
out.
shit! Microsoft bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. I thought it was only one.
No.
Continue.
I can't remember what the game it was, but like it was meant to come out on Xbox and PlayStation, but then it became a PlayStation exclusive, and
Temporary one, Deathloop, wasn't it?
it might have been. And then Xbox people were complaining, and PS5 people were like, PS players were like, "Way, fuck you," and all that. And then when it happens to them, they're like, "No, this isn't fair. Like, this is so bullshit." It's like, it's not, because Microsoft owns Bethesda now, so they can do what the fuck they want. Ye own all those other studios that can make Spider-Man, and ye can play Spider-Man, but we can't. You can play God of War. You can play all these other games that we can't. So, suck one. Just because you can't play one game that you didn't even know existed till literally a couple of fucking months ago, and feel entitled enough to think that it should come to PlayStation 5, you can suck one, because you don't deserve anything. Now, if I do believe that Skyrim 6 or Elder Scrolls 6 Elder Scrolls 6 should come out on both. Now, after saying what I just said to suck one and you don't deserve it, I do believe that Elder Scrolls 6 should come out on both. Not because I don't want these PS people to throw a tantrum. No, I'd love more than anything to see them throw a tantrum. It's more of this game has been anticipated for a long time, well before the whole Bethesda Xbox takeover thing, and just simply Bethesda will make more money if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
On Twitter, GamesBeat reporter Jeff Grubb refuted the suggestion in a recent interview. Bethesda's P. Hines has hinted at Starfield coming on PS5. Since then, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, I'm seeing a fucking tweet here that's saying no, and Elder Scrolls 6 is planned as an Xbox exclusive as well.
Oh, boy. Hey, I'd love to see that too, just because it'll be funny to piss people off. But I do believe that they should get this one. Okay, Elder Scrolls 7, maybe not. But Elder Scrolls 7 will be years anyway. But Elder Scrolls 6, I think they definitely should get it, because it's been many years since we've been waiting for it. And it just... I don't know. But again, we've never gotten anything of Elder Scrolls 6, so... if it was a thing that we got a trailer or got a sneak peek into it, and then this whole thing happened, but Elder Scrolls 6 has been, coming out for so many years that that'd be really funny though, wouldn't it?
Oh my fucking god, it would be hilarious.
All those people just throwing a tantrum would be amazing.
All those people. I have a fucking stupid grin on my face.
Oh, it'd be great. I just cannot wait for them to go Elder Scrolls 6 is Xbox exclusive, and just to see the flood of comments coming Bethesda and Microsoft greedy and all this, and the second you bring up but ye have God of War, we can't play it. Oh, that's different. No.
You can't say greedy, because greedy would be because they can't say shit about it being greedy. Look at Skyrim. We got an anniversary edition last week about it, and if you say that this company is greedy for releasing it on one console, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Because greedy will be releasing it on PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox One, Nintendo fucking DS at this point with Skyrim.
Yeah, to make as much money as you want.
Yeah, this wouldn't be anywhere near greedy. This would just be I still agree though. I think PS should still have it, even though I grin stupidly at the thought of them missing out on it. I do feel bad for my roommates because she wants it, but she has to get an Xbox for it. But I still think they should give it to
I think they
PS5 just
should.
for their own performance.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should just like you said, just for the simple money aspect of it. They should also because like Elder Scrolls has been in the works well before this whole Bethesda thing, and has not necessarily been announced, but it was like there will be Elder Scrolls 6 and it will be coming to both consoles, blah blah blah, and then suddenly to change that does feel a little like dicky. But then again, at the end of the day, Microsoft bought them. Microsoft went in and bought them up. It's not like a thing that it was Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out in November this year, and like Bethesda was bought in July, and then it's like Xbox is like, nope, it's not coming out now in November for PS. That would be a dick move. But like, we don't even have a release. Like Elder Scrolls 6 could be not. Like, it's probably not going to come out till like 23. Like, so there's so, and that's fucking hopeful. Like, so yeah, no, like fuck them. Like if they get it, great, good for them. If they don't, suck it up. Like, there's been so many fantastic games that has been Xbox PS exclusive, and we just had to suck it up and not care or go off and buy a PlayStation. All the Spider-Man games, all of them are fantastic. We can't play a single one.
The first Last of Us game.
Last of Us, unbelievable. Uncharted, unbelievable.
God of War,
unbelievable. I'm pretty sure Ratchet and Clank is exclusive. That's fantastic. Like, I think Crash was for a while exclusive. Not anymore, but it was. So we had to suck it up for a while. And there's many other games that I'm sure I'm not mentioning that are fantastic, and we just had to suck it up. So ye suck it up now for a while. Like, the only game that they had to suck it up was Halo. Really, that's really the only exclusive they had to suck up and not get. Halo. Well, okay, you can get over not playing Halo.
Yeah.
But getting over like not playing all these Spider-Man games, God of War, Uncharted, blah blah blah, Last of Us, is like, now you suck it up for a while. When we play this beautiful Starfield game, suck one.
Suck a nad.
Yeah, when we get to play Elder Scrolls 6 and you don't, suck one.
Oh.
So like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, that was a good rant there. Damn.
That was a good rant. Yeah, we like, God, I don't know if people actually think we like or hate PS5. It's not that I hate PS5.
I hate the community.
It's just, I just don't like its community at this point. That's why I love Xbox. Majority of the time when I talk to someone about Xbox, it's a little bit the games, but very rarely, even like some of the people who are like, even when, like, people who I know for a while, even when I talk about PS5, their exclusives come up at some point, and I'm like, I just don't care.
Yeah. And
the reason why I don't care is because I know that's like your one and only thing that you can talk to me about is, oh, we have exclusives. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, like, it's like,
I have everything.
It's like an
PC as well. Fuck you.
Xbox players are like that kid at Christmas that got like a nice watch, and like he'd wear it to school, but like he'll cover it by his coat, like over his coat, and like it might catch a glimpse and be like, oh, someone would be like, oh my god, that's such a nice watch. You'd be like, oh yeah, I got it for Christmas. That's the Xbox player. PS5 player gets a new watch and goes into school, sleeves rolled up, goes, look at my watch, look at my watch. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Like, it costs so much money, and it's like, okay, I don't care. And that's that's literally what the PS community is like. It's literally just, they act like children. You know, they're like, oh, we got better than ye. It's like, console wars has been dead for the past like 10 years. Like, get over yourselves. No one cares. Like, I seen a video on I can't remember where it was, some sort of social media. It was a neutral page, and they put up a video of the new the Halo Infinite Xbox, which looks pretty cool. And
Oh yeah, it looks awesome.
all the comments were like, who plays Xbox in 2021? It's like PS5 for life, and it's like, what the fuck? What does that have to do with what?
Yeah.
Like, could you not just be like? But there was other comments like, this isn't everyone, but like the loud majority of people are like this. But like some people are like, one of the comments was like, hey, look, I'd never get an Xbox, but that's fucking cold. Like that's class.
Yeah.
Like, say that. Like, go for it. Like, but this whole like, oh no, PS5 is better. Fuck you. It's like, shut up.
Hmm.
No one cares. No one cares anymore. Because most games are crossplay now, so no one literally, no one cares. Like back in the day, it was a big thing because whatever your friends had, you had. Like if two of your three friends got fucking Xbox, you had to go get Xbox. You couldn't buy a PlayStation, otherwise you wouldn't play anything. Now it's crossplay, so who cares what you're on? So just stop being a little dicky bitch.
Like, yeah, I do like every now and again just when people say, oh, I don't have this, but this game looks really cool, as you said. But like the amount of people are like, why do we still care about console games? Just play your games. It almost comes across as like, the amount of times you see it almost feels like it's a cop out, but it's not a cop out. People should just not give a shit. You say there's so much, what's it called? As you said, there's so much crossplay now. Like, it's really not becoming anything anymore. It's becoming a unified set. But the amount of people who I would bet excellent amount of money on, that the majority of people say, oh, PS for life, play FIFA.
Oh yeah.
And like, I made it clear how I feel about people who just play one type of video game. If you just play FPSs, fuck off. If you just play sport games, fuck off. If you just play one type of game and then you feel the urge to go, no, PS for life, is like you haven't even played the majority of the games that make PS5. You just know of the games. I could bet good money the majority of loud dickheads just play one type of video game. But we play all types, and we're like, nah, there's no console war. There's no point in this shit.
Like, hey, I don't care what you play. You play whatever the fuck you want. If literally your only games you have on your fucking thing are sports games, okay, cool. But like, don't go around chatting shit about something that you've no clue about. Like, if you just play sports games, cool, do that. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can play whatever the heck you want. But don't go onto a comment section and go, PS5 for life, we've got better exclusives, when you probably don't even know 2 exclusives that PS5 has. You just play FIFA. Like
if someone could say, oh, we have exclusives, and then tell me one that I'm like, oh yeah, you have that, I'll give them my respect. But if you go, we have God of War, Last of Us, I'm like, okay, first off, God of War, good, very famous. Second off, Last of Us. Do I need to say much more besides the first one?
Yeah. So just stop. Console wars need to stop, and it's literally just PS5 players that keep bringing up console wars, and and then it pisses people off. It pisses me off. It pisses you off, and it pisses a lot of Xbox players off because they just keep fucking shoving it in your face when there's just no need to shove anything in anyone's faces anymore, and it becomes a little bickering match. Then it becomes a little fucking shot for shot which is stupid.
Yeah, because that's the thing. As I said, when I went into that comment section, the people who said Xbox just said Xbox, or I go to Xbox, and just people who've been converted over to go, I have PS5, but I'm thinking about getting an Xbox. They say that. Even people who want to move from PS5 to Xbox have the same temperament, is the word I'll use, as an Xbox player who's always been playing, like, yeah, I want to move on to Xbox. But anyone, like, the amount of people who still play PS or PS5, don't say PlayStation and just say PlayStation. They have PlayStation like shit tons of emojis after, or like PlayStation for life or some shit like that. I'm like, Xbox had a few emojis as well. I'm not gonna say they didn't, And there's probably one or two as well that were like, oh, Xbox Live, but the majority of them were just Xbox. I play Xbox. It's like nice and calm. But the amount, like, it's flipped then for fucking PS5 players. I'm like, I get you like PS5 and all, but not everyone has one, and not everyone wants one.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. But this probably will never end.
No.
But I think we should enough ranting and just wrap up the show.
Oh, are we short on time? Yeah, I guess we're short on time. I can't think of anything else here.
Yeah. Alright.
I had a game I wanted to discuss, but I can't remember. Holy fuck, I forgot about the movie I wanted to talk about. We said something about like going off script earlier on. Apparently James McAvoy's new movie,
I saw that.
My
He
Son.
improvised the whole thing.
Yeah, he had no lines. He just fucking went for it. What?
That's crazy.
I set up that ages ago, and I was like, it was halfway through the conversation. I was like, oh my god, I forgot.
That's crazy. I did see that.
Yeah,
I
apparently
did see
just.
that. Now,
Yeah.
will it be good? I don't know. If it is
Who
good,
knows?
fucking James McAvoy, give that man an Oscar. Because holy shit, to improvise a whole film. Oh my god.
And look, this is what we were talking about for a while. If something's original and something is new, let's go for it. This is original and new. I can remember another movie that was a character improvised all of his lines outside of a comedy thing. So fuck yeah. Let's go.
Exactly.
Oops.
So, but yeah, that's it for us this week.
That's it.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and all the platforms to listen shit on. So
Wherever you get your podcast.
Exactly.
So yeah, thank you.
and yeah, au revoir.
Bye bye.